following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.
Must know it's race time when cars are running the road course. And as we get ready to go on a fun Wednesday night and preview what is about to be season number 3 of the GLSR in the Downrange Transports Premier Series. But tonight, we go clashing and bashing and slashing and thrashing and any other word. Lashing, I guess that works too. Crashing. Hey, there's another one. At Daytona. And the clash here presented by Spicy Schemes. I am the captain, and we welcome you to this exhibition race of all the pole sitters from the last 2 seasons and the winners from the Clash. So kind of like the way it used to be back in the 1980s and 90s when it was known as the Busch Clash in NASCAR. It is the Spicy Schemes Clash here at Daytona as we get ready for the season kickoff next Wednesday night. But I take you back to the year of 1980. There was a race known as the Busch Clash that kicked off. It was the first year. All of 9 cars started that race. And in the end, Buddy Baker went out in one set event. In that event, Ken Squire stood up in the booth with a young fella from Kannapolis, North Carolina, and called that clash on CBS that afternoon with a guy named Dale Earnhardt, which shows you that sometimes just putting a driver in the booth is fun to do. So he might not be Dale Earnhardt, but he's probably got as much power as Dale Earnhardt has. Well, then, and now he has the power. And some might know him as my cousin Vinny. I know him as Peyton Johnson. I have brought Peyton up to the booth tonight. Hello, sir. Surprise to everyone.
Surprise, surprise, guys. Up here calling it. Wish I was down there leading this thing like I think I might be. But since I can't be down there with all of my friends, I'm going to be up here watching it and enjoying calling a race for the first time ever with the captain.
All right. So, obviously, we did everything we could to get you into a car. And it didn't work. So, a lot of people said that you just weren't good enough. And I was like, man, that's insulting. But anyways, you are good enough to get around this track and talk about racing here at this track.
You know, really, it's just a different skill, learning how the draft works and putting yourself in the right kind of spots to be able to make passes. I think I did win a Daytona duel here in the truck series for the GLSR a little while ago, but it's really an interesting way of racing now with only 7, 8, 11 cars. It's going to be even more. You know, the push to the front is going to be very hard to do.
And Sam Barnes, of course, is going over the rules for the race. Now, we're going to do something that I've always been a fan of this. A lot of leagues don't do it, obviously, because it takes time and people might get bored or whatever. But we're going to do single car qualifying. So as we get going, Sam Barnes is going to be the first one out on track. He's going to go straight up on the track. We're allowing that. And we're going to send Peyton out pit road. He's going to go talk to random people, and who knows who he might find down there. Rumor has it that Marissa Tomei's out there roaming around or something. So we'll see what he can find. But right now, the man that's putting this race together is going to be the first car out on track for one lap, by the way, of qualifying. So this is the warm-up lap. Peyton, while you're down there going the elevator, I'm glad to see that we have service here. Talk about getting warmed up for a qualifying lap here, because you got to run the wall.
Yeah, you really want to just wind it out as long as you can, get the temps up, and push it right up against the wall for that first 2 or 1.5 laps of getting up to speed and not worrying about. I think Sam's going down a little early here. I wouldn't do that, but
No.
I just gotta say, man, that Sammy Van Ginsbergen paint scheme looks really hot on the screen. I gotta tell you,
I do like it, and what I don't like is blinking. I don't know if he's got the Goodwill internet going there tonight or something, but let's see. Yeah, so go ahead.
He might be down there in New Zealand, connected with Shane Van Ginsbergen, trying to race here in America.
That's funny right there. So as Peyton finds somebody to talk to here, obviously we look Barnes right down that yellow line, which is the way to go. And, of course, he's going to be purple the first lap. But, obviously, just like you see in normal qualifying on the network, when you see a car in purple, that means he's on line for a pole lap. Obviously, tonight, it'll be yellow. It'll be green the whole way around. But if it's not purple, then obviously it's not going to be a pole lap, which is kind of key tonight because you want to be the king of all pole sitters, right?
That is true, and I found somebody really quick for us to talk to about that who has a couple polls from last season. Brandon, nice to see you made it, buddy. Can you hear us in the booth?
Yeah, I got you. What's going on, guys?
Not too much. Here I am doing my pit walk and found you here before you take your lap. What are you planning on doing for this one lap to make it the best?
Oh, man, we're just going to give it everything we got. We're going to put the hammer down. The pedal's not going to lift until we see the line again. So we're hoping to just see what kind of a lap we can throw down, see if we can be up there, maybe not start in the back, try to start up somewhere towards the front and try to keep it up front.
Well, you about answered my second question for you. Where do you think the best place to be for this race is going to start from?
P2 till you come down out of turn 4.
Awesome. Well, best of luck in your qualifying lap, and we'll talk to you when we talk to you.
Appreciate it, guys.
See ya.
I have not trained him one bit to do an interview, and he knocked it out of the park.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Josh Gagnon on track after Sam, a 50.5. So Josh crosses the line. And again, one lap is all you get.
That being said, that would change. Sammy, I guess, didn't drop down early. I thought they were doing 2 laps. So, yeah, 1 lap, you're going to wind it up, and then I probably would bring it down off of the hill in 3 and get to the bottom.
Well, I wouldn't even do it off 3. I would do it in the tri-oval. I've taught myself that you go down the back straightaway and you go into 3 and 4, stay topside, and there's a white line, one of the lines on the track here, right before the start-finish line, where you're able to almost drop down the banking of the tri-oval and be across the line as you're on the bottom. And if you're able to do that, then obviously you're carrying all the speed you can around the track. As Gagnon will cross the line, he is going to be P1 55.13, so he gets Sam by 5/100ths.
Speaking of Sam, let's see what he thinks about his qualifying lap. Sammy Barnes, we got the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, how's it going?
Boss man.
Just wanted to thank you for putting on this event for everybody, and wow, that's a good looking paint scheme you got today.
Thank you. I'm very proud of it. I'm hoping to maybe be employed by WeatherTech myself, so I wanted to go all out on a WeatherTech scheme.
Awesome. How do you feel about your lap?
Not great. I'm having internet issues.
We noticed.
So not feeling too hot about being competitive tonight, but we're gonna find out how this is gonna go. So I don't even know where I finished, but I gotta see who needs to go out on track next.
Sam's running the show and we're up here, Paul. Good job.
Well, hey, we'll send you back to figure that out, but just wanted to tell you how good the paint scheme looked, and thank you for putting this on.
No problem. Thank you.
And he's got internet issues. Already his kid's getting on the phone while we're on the internet. I mean, it's 1990 style. Come on. Kill the internet just being on the phone. A lot of people don't remember that day when you had AOL and anybody got on the phone while you were on the internet or whatever, kick you off. So Richard Midkiff on the track in the 29. If you remember the Scalicast podcast a couple weeks ago, Dalton mentioned Midkiff. Of course, a family relative of them, as he gets his lap. Didn't even count his lap for some reason. Unless I'm seeing things wrong here.
Yeah, I'm showing the same thing. I don't know if you touch the wall or go to 0x or anything.
Oh, you know
this
what?
may be-
Okay, I see what's going on, because it says 2 laps for the guys, so this is actually his lap right here. I
Gotcha.
got confused there for a second. So yeah, race winners of the Clash, if I can clarify this. Yeah, so it's now he's coming to pit road, so I don't know what in the world's going on here. Did somebody not clear his flag maybe or something? But no, if that's the case, he should be able to reset and still go out.
Right, you should put a lap together afterwards.
Yeah, but yeah, it's the race winner. It's the 2 drivers that have won the Clash apparently in the past, and then pole sitters. I don't know exactly. I'm just going off of what I'm told. Let's see. Let's actually take a look here while we got a minute. Here's the entrances into the race. So it's Dalton, Alphin, Sammy B. Let's see. Ladisseur, Miles, Midkiff, Strayer, Diego Sainz, with Diego Zanes, apparently. Alex Cummings, Sean Peachin, Sam Fontaine, Gagnon, and Maciejewski. That's your drivers. I'm just the guy here. being my cousin Vinny over here. Maciejewski P1, 50.505. You beat Gagnon out by 8 1,000. Sorry.
Scala, I think I got one of those previous Clash winners in here to talk to us for a second. Josh, you got a copy with the broadcast booth?
Yeah, I got a copy. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. It looks like your lap just got cut a little bit. Maciejewski with a 50.50 and you with a 50.51 just missed out a little bit on the pole right now.
Oh, it's no big deal. I mean, it's super speedway qualifying. It's going to come down to tenths, 100,000ths of a second. Those last 2 numbers right there, you know? It's all right.
Well, as a previous Clash winner, do you have any secrets that you're going to employ to try and get to the front in this one?
Well, that was at the Coliseum, so I don't really know. It's like we're going from the smallest track to the biggest track on the schedule. So, you know, I'm just going to put my pedal to the metal and hope for the best. Try not to die.
Well, leave it there until you see the checkers or see God, like that guy said in Daytona earlier. So hopefully we'll be talking to you after, buddy. Good luck.
All right, thanks, guys.
Sean Peachin with a 50.538. He is P3 out of 4. And did I miss the Maciejewski lap, or was I just not paying attention?
They went to running 2 cars on the track at the same time. So
so I was
Brandon
on
was
Midkiff's
out there.
car. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, Brandon was out there, and then Sean was on his warm up after Brandon crossed the start finish.
Oh, okay. I got
They're
confuzzled there for a
speeding it up
second.
on us.
I'm good with that. I want to make sure I get every car. As Lucas Strayer's on the track, and I think he's in the Reed Sorensen special here, or at least a Reed Sorensen looking car. That's definitely a Target throwback paint, I think, right there a little bit and there's that Freebird on the back. And
It's still flying high.
it is. Lucas obviously was pretty hard on himself last year. Felt like he choked a lot of races, including one at New Hampshire that included you. But needless to say, obviously had a pretty good season for the most part, looking to get into victory lane again this year. Lucas is purple, though.
Yeah, you know, he has a lot of speed. He's somebody that you always have to be watching for in these races. He's going to win at some point, there's no doubt. I think the season just got to him there at the end last year.
He won for Lucas Strayer 50.47. There's a 47.
That's a big lap right there.
Track's going to get cooler, too, as we're going into the nighttime here. But you know, I got to check to see, too, if the glitch is still going on that's been happening on iRacing, that basically if you set up dynamic, it stays the same time, and you have to go in and, like, edit the setting of the race as the race goes up or whatever. It's kind of an interesting setup. As Diego Sainz, the 44 car. And Trying to see if he's taking his first lap here or not. You got a couple cars that have run 1 lap, a couple cars that have run 2 laps, so I'm just looking over there.
I found that really fast car that looks like a Reed Sorensen throwback, and see if we can talk to him. Luke Strayer, Peyton up in the booth. You got a copy?
Oh, my buddy Peyton, what's up?
Hey, buddy. I hate that I'm not there to lay it on your door tonight, but man, what a hot lap that you set there. 0.3 faster than everybody. What did you find that gave you that lap?
So back when the Podium 500 was actually an important thing and people cared about it,
Wow.
me and my friends spent way too much time, like, just doing every little thing possible to, like, perfect a lap here. And a lot of it is literally just, like, you literally just can't touch the wheel. And, like, you kind of, when you come off on the straights, you kind of have to do this, like, you actually want to drift up a little bit. It sounds so counterintuitive where you want to drift with your car and like move more than you think. But like, yeah, I got a pole. My one pole was here at Daytona because I can't qualify anywhere else. So we'll take it.
Well,
For
man,
now.
that was definitely a quick lap. Like I said, I hate that I'm not here to rough you up and get you all mad, but I'm gonna enjoy watching you, and I wish you the best of luck tonight.
That doesn't mean I'm not going to start a drama right here as Lotta Stewart starts his lap. Whose fault was it, by the way? Still from that wreck at Dover.
I mean, when I win this race, I'm gonna thank my family for watching. So they finally get to hear an interview from me because I did terrible at the end of the last season. So they can finally hear an interview from me. But I know I'm gonna dedicate this win to my buddy Peyton here because you know what, it's a new season, it's a new leaf. So when I win, so I'm calling my shot right now. So when I completely crash out, then you guys can tell me I told you so. But I'm going to dedicate this to Peyton as a new series, new fun, and I can't wait for him to beat me at Michigan again, and I'm going to be pissed.
I gave you when you watch the broadcast back, you'll see I gave you an olive branch and told you and admitted how fast you were. And just for the record, Dover was not my fault, but the next week might have been. So I think we're 1-1, buddy. So I'll go ahead and lay on the sword there. So best of luck to you. We'll talk to you after the race.
Hey, I better hear some shout outs out there. I'm going to be watching this broadcast back because the two of you is going to be an interesting broadcast. So I'm excited to see this back.
Well, I thank you, and hopefully I don't mess it up too bad.
He'll be fine.
Oh, dude, you'll do.
He gone.
He's monopolizing my time here in the booth, buddy.
I'm waiting to see Brandon's paint scheme load up here, but it's not for some reason. I just actually re-updated the paint scheme, so Brandon's in this interesting colored 7 car. I don't think that's supposed to be sponsored, and hopefully that'll fix itself here in a second.
It's showing the same thing for me, so I think
okay.
that's actually what he's got on it.
Oh, maybe it is, but he's got Whiskey River on his car. I'm surprised it's not some Morgan Wallen paint scheme, but Brandon on track. He's usually pretty good here at Daytona. And obviously the champion at season number 5, make that 6 of GLSR's Truck Series.
And the guy who stole the pole from me at New Hampshire and kept me out of this race, so...
But you can't wait to talk to him in a minute.
Interesting words for him in a minute when I find him.
Well, he's not a hard man to find. He's a pretty big guy. As Brandon, P5, 50.51, but everybody within 0.4 of a second of each other as of right now. Uh-oh. Speaking of big guys.
I think I found him. Let me see if I can get to him quick enough.
Go ahead. I want to make sure these paint schemes are loaded right before we start. Dalton, one of the final 4 drivers from last season.
It looks like he turned off his microphone, so I can't find him.
He'll do that sometimes. He's a forward-focused guy.
We'll just have to watch Dalton put down a fast lap here.
Dalton, one of the KJD2 guys, was on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and obviously very cool guy to talk to, and obviously a lot of personal stories he shares. The KJD2 team, that name is named after his brother who passed away. And of course he explained that on the podcast a couple weeks ago. So appreciate Jason spending time with us doing that as he crosses the line. P4, 50-51 with a 0. So now you got 3 cars within within 7 thousandths of each other here. You got Maciejewski, who's 5 1,000ths ahead of Dalton, and then you got 2 cars in the 40s.
Yeah, I mean, I really figured that these times were going to be really close to each other up at the top. It's not a surprise, but the surprise is that Lucas is 0.3 faster than third. I mean, 300ths faster than third. That's moving it.
And that's obviously, you talked about running laps in that special event race that he was speaking of. As Sam Fontaine on the track now. And Miles is out there getting his get up to speed lap going, so Fontaine will cross here, and then Miles will run his lap. So guys did a pretty good job for the first time ever trying this format. I tried to give them the idea of how to do it, because I've done this before in like an all-star race format. And it can be tough because you get people talking, or stuff can happen as Fontaine goes P3, 50-50. Exactly. And, obviously it can get a little overwhelming there for a second. So credit to these guys for doing it so far. And here comes the champ, Mr. Miles, on track. I might or might not have given him some tips before about qualifying, but that's not what I taught him. He got a little high there in one.
He's a little bit off of the yellow line, so it's going to eat up some time. We'll see how it affects him when he crosses the start-finish line.
And again, he might be purposely moving like a groove up so he can start in the back. That's where he likes to be.
Also very true. I found the previous champion in the truck series, though. Let's see if we can get a copy from him.
Go ahead.
Mr. Fontaine, Peyton up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, pretty good lap there, 50-50 even, puts you in third. From what I've seen racing with you a few years, it seems like that your luck doesn't seem to be as good at these super speedway tracks. So, got anything that you're going to change tonight to maybe make it to the end?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think gonna take it as a good practice for the regular season, because we're gonna get there at some point in the season. So it's gonna be important to be kind of ready. The car kind of feel weird though tonight with the bubble behind the cars and everything. So it's gonna be a good practice, and try to have fun with boys.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. Always fast, always good running around you. Hate that I'm not out there pushing you or you pushing me, but we'll make it up in the season. So good luck to you tonight.
Yes, thanks, mate.
See ya.
All right, looks like qualifying is over. Lucas Strayer going to be on the pole for the Clash coming up here momentarily. Who's the one driver we're missing? Because we got 12 drivers, 13 were eligible. Let me pull up the old entrance list again here. Dalton's here, Alphin's here, Barnes, Ladisor, Miles, Midkiff, Strayer, Diego Stein. Oh, Alex Cummings. Well, Alex has got some pretty good work going on right now in his life. So congratulations to him, by the way, on all his success. And we're going to step away real quick for the national anthem and come back and get you the starting lineup and ready for the Spicy Schemes Clash here at Daytona.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, grid is set for the third annual Clash, this time at Daytona, presented by Spicy Schemes. 12 cars going to start. You're going to see the name Tyler Brewer. He's just here to hang out so he don't get fined. Here's your lineup. Lucas Strayer going to be on the pole. Diego Sainz on the outside there in that Gunslinger's number 44 car. Row 2, Sam Fontaine, Brandon Maciejewski, Stephen Miles, Jason Dalton, the champ there in row 3. Josh Gannon, Brandon Alphin, row 4. Richard Midkiff, Sean Peach in row 5. Sam Barnes and Joey Ladesseur in row 6. And should we pull the champ up?
I would love to, but I don't see him anywhere. I think he's
Oh,
got
is
his
he
mic
not?
turned off for this, so.
He's a focused guy. Yeah, it looks like he's, yeah, I think he's in another chat. And you know what? Oh, you know what? Yeah, he's probably in another chat, so that's all right. He's ready to go and ready to go racing here. He's a focused guy, as he always is.
I just wanted to talk to him about that paint scheme and give him a woo.
Yeah, Ric Flair, right? Nate.
Yep.
Nate was out there throwing the chops in Sting's last match Sunday night. But yeah,
Really hated to see Sting hang it up, but it's probably about time.
that match was awesome. By the way, I didn't get to watch it, but I listened through somebody's YouTube stream, and the Darby Allin spot through the glass, or the sugar glass, it pretty much was freaking awesome. So, and then I read today that they had an alternative finish ready in case Darby couldn't finish after that move. Oh, that was pretty wild. But anyways, so 25 laps going to make up the race. So an old school Clash race of 25 laps, simple as that. And yeah, you think the aggression's going to go high here? Because it's going to be like an IROC race almost going back in today, because you got 12 cars here. Draft's going to be big. I mean, do you want to hang out?
I can tell you that if I was starting past the second row, I would be pushing this 3 wide as soon as I got the run into 1 and 2 off of 1 and 2 onto the back stretch if it's not blocked. I think you got to push early, you got to push hard, throw all caution to the wind, and see how it shakes out if you're that far back.
There you go. Pace car is in. Here we go. Let's wave the green flag on season 3 of this GLSR Downrange Transport Clash, or the Clash race, but the Premier Series from Daytona. Our cameras presented by TrackCams22.com, as always. You can check them out online on Facebook, the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. So, pretty organized here.
Yeah, right here is where the cars in that third row may get a huge run, but see if they do anything with it.
So far, everybody just being patient, as Signs looks like. Signs. Sounds like a song. I don't remember
Everywhere the
next line.
signs.
I was going to say thank you. I couldn't remember the next line. Oh, man. They had front 4 rows. Looked like they just started the race. Literally still through 3 and 4. Alphin moves down to the bottom. And who's going to lead the lap? I'm guessing their number's going to be 40-something. 41 leading lap 1.
Looks like that bottom row is a little bit more organized right now than the top, so they should be able to hold off the top lane. Usually here in these super speedway races, from my experiences, the top lane is the preferred lane. They'll get the side draft and be able to pull up on the bottom if they organize the right way.
Now, I know that works out in the trucks. Is that the same here in the B car?
It's a lot worse in the B car. The side draft will pull you forward in the B car.
Which is always a good thing when you're especially on the outside there. Just saw one car try to poke himself to the high lane there, going 3 wide back there, as I think Barnes is still having connection issues, so might need to get his little one off of the Wi-Fi already. Because you know what happens. You turn like a month old, you get Wi-Fi access.
Oh, for sure. They're already they know more about how to work a phone than we do.
No kidding. As Sainz gets the push from Maciejewski, and there's Dalton going to jump topside here, 3 wide already. Now we're getting it picked up, boys. Couple of KJD2 cars up there.
Unfortunately, with the way that they're separated there, it's not going to help either the second or the third lane. That first lane's going to get a big run.
Oh, here goes Fontaine and Maciejewski around. As Barnes, I think, decided to pull off the track with his issues. Fontaine goes around along with Maciejewski, who's, well, Bluey's destroyed. No caution, as I think they spun off the track other than Fontaine there for a second. Barnes is still trying to fix his internet. If I was Barnes, I'd have just hung out in the back and try to fix it, but...
Yeah.
Caution now out. Caution out.
I had noticed, and I was just getting ready to say it, Fontaine was really squirrely, and my experience with him here is he does he does move around right to left a little bit, and I would be willing to bet that that was the cause of the caution. But we'll check it out on the replay and see.
Well, of course, I don't know like if there's been any changes with the new build setup-wise and stuff. So that's one thing this week. Of course, the build just came out on Tuesday. Or Monday, I should say. Yeah, there's Barnes having all kinds of issues. Oh, was there a little netcode there or actual contact?
No, I think if we get an above shot, you're gonna see Sam come up half a lane into the side of the 93, and that's what starts it all.
Poor Barnes. Poor Barnes is trying to fix his stuff, and all of a sudden a wrecking right in front of him. As we go, my crash cam, in case you've not seen this yet, for the GLSR guys. It's the far chase cam, but still, called the crash cam. Oh, Fontaine with the follow the draft of the 41.
Yeah, and the 93
all
was just
miles
there.
gets damage, yeah. And then Barnes is going to come in here like, trying to fix my internet. Everything's good. Oh, turn right. No, he didn't make the shot there, but either way, caution out for the first time. And let's get some good opportunity here. I do got some news to share with everybody.
Ooh, I love news.
Two pieces of news. First things first, let's show the schedule for this season. The Downrange Transport Premier Series for the second time, I believe, in the league history. I have to check that stat. Auto Club Speedway is going to kick off the season next Wednesday night. I know season 5, I think it was, Auto Club also, in the trucks. Phoenix, that was the season where they actually did not run a single Super Speedway Series race. They went all regular tracks. Phoenix sees race number 2 on the 20th in Martinsville Speedway. And then we go to Pocono for 200 miles there on the 3rd of April. Charlotte on the 10th of April. And then the road course race, the Brandon Alphin Special, Sonoma. Oh boy, that might be a Brandon Alphin win right there. I've not seen anybody as good as Brandon Alphin is at Sonoma. That sounds like kind of biased or whatever, but like anytime he gets on that track, it's phenomenal what he can pull off on there. So and as we've seen, he's got pretty good road course skills. But
yeah, he was impressive at Chicago. So I have no doubt that he's just gonna lap us all there.
Well, as long as he don't outpit himself like he did at Red Bull. IRP for the 24th, Gateway, Talladega, Richmond, and Michigan. Of course, the traditional wrap up to the season, and then North Wilkesboro, Kansas, and oh my gosh, holy worn out track special. Darlington, Atlanta 08, and then how about that last race, Homestead? Do you notice any trend there in that last set of races?
Everything's gonna wear out tires. You better be controlling that right foot.
Outside of Kansas, but it's actually 5 races. There's an additional playoff race in the schedule.
That will be interesting.
So we have 5 playoff races now. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see. And then the big announcement that happened this week is Josh Gagnon is putting together this SRX series, which is presented by GLSR and also by STSL, the Short Track Super League. And the SRX Challenge is going to have 6 events, and there's 2 races per event. So basically, South Boston's going to start off the schedule, and that's coming up on April 1st. It'll be 2 30-lap races there, and I believe there's some heat races involved. Then they're going to Limaland, Langley, and then Knoxville, Martinsville, Eldora. So looking forward to seeing that series, and I'm disappointed not going to Daytona or Talladega because there's setups for them apparently.
Oh, that'll be interesting to see those cars at a big track like that. But I have a couple races on the season that I've already circled, so that was good to hear them back, and can't wait for the new season. Darlington is one of my my best and favorite tracks, and in this car, man, it's an absolute animal. The Lady in Black takes all prisoners, not none.
I love my Darlington.
You know, Fontaine and I had a great battle there
Just
in the
for you,
trucks
Teller.
a few years ago. Excited to see how these cars do.
That was an inside joke for those who don't listen to the podcast. I always get picked on for rubbing my hands. Because when I get excited, I'm like one of these. Yeah, I'm excited because, anytime racing's on the track, I get exciting. Anytime a super speedway race is on the track, I'm excited. Anytime I get to talk about the podcast, I'm excited too.
Well, I am excited to see this go back green here this lap and see what more chaos happens.
Yeah, already seeing some as I know Barnes is in chat here. Did they have resets? Looks like Miles got a new car, it looks like, so maybe they did. So either that or they got their damage fixed on the cars. Not too much of heavy damage, obviously, had to worry about. Well, then again, Maciejewski had a modified.
Yeah, it looks like he got a front bumper, so I don't know if they had a one faster pair for this or not, but we'll see. We'll see if those guys can keep up. If so, that means they did.
JT watching in chat, trust me, my hands are always on top of the counter here. I gotta control the broadcast. So, anyways, don't know where his mind's at. Must be in Jacksonville. Coming to the green flag at lap number 6 of this clash as Diego launches maybe too good of a launch.
Yeah, he's probably going to get eaten up here on outside of 2. Well, it doesn't look like anybody's forming up to really be able to make a run, so that might save him.
Yeah, I was going to say Dalton's out there a little bit now. Strayer needs to get behind Dalton probably here. That's what he's going to do. Gagnon's going to be kind of all by himself up there on that top side. Here comes Alphin on the bottom. Yeah, it's Freight Train City, and here comes Dalton to the top. Much expected. That's actually a similar move to how I won the 500 earlier this season again.
You know, I know it's a short, quick race, but we still got a lot of racing to go. That one caution may have excited everybody, and they're going to race really hard here for the first few laps.
Cautions breed cautions, as Maciejewski's lost the draft, unfortunately. But, yeah, 25 laps is all of 72.5 miles or something like that. So I know 50 is 125. Whatever half of 125 is 62.5. So anyway, yeah, that's still a good amount of miles. I mean, 62 miles. Here to halfway to Indianapolis. For you, it's probably like there to what, Roanoke, the beach?
Yeah, that'd be about right down here in Bristol,
Virginia. Right?
Yeah, correct. The good side of Bristol.
He's on the Bristol, Virginia side. He's not over in the Tri-City area there of Bristol. Which, by the way, I almost had an interview at that radio station once over in those areas, the country station over there. Which, by the way,
awesome.
Kind of a long story short, if anybody remembers the show, it was an MRN show from back in the day called NASCAR USA. It was a country music show that they did interviews, and it was always on Sunday mornings before the race. As they're getting dicey here.
Yeah.
It was hosted by Jim Phillips, a legendary broadcaster for MRN. He's actually a salesperson. I think he was a former, I don't know if he's still there, and he might have retired by now, at those stations in the area. I actually went and did the research. I was like, wait a minute, is that the same Jim Phillips and figured out it was. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm really watching everybody here, and I don't know if everybody's steering ratio is hot or what's going on, but not a whole lot of straight lines being drawn by these cars right now. It could be wind, it could be a lot of things, but man, being in that pack right now would be awesome.
Well,
I hate that I'm up here.
Oh, you see Sean Peach in here. We're riding on board. You get the view there. I know you got a monitor in front of you. Looks like he's one of a couple of people I've noticed his wheel is based at about 11 a.m. So, I don't know what the base at. Man, they are dancing out here.
Yeah, they're hitting the apron. You know, it's really hard to see in these cockpits. You can only really see what's right in front of you, and you kind of have to judge off of the line. And then I use the water towers or the Sunoco towers on each turn to know when the banking is getting ready to hit. You can see right here as he goes by that, you're getting right into the banking.
That's a good call. Never thought about that. But yeah, and of course, back in the day, the old Unical 76 towers.
Correct. It was a big 76 ball.
Which, by the way, was actually the broadcast booth where the radio guys would be in that ball.
It still is.
That's awesome.
They're in that tower.
That's so cool. And then you can actually, if you go to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, there is a 76 ball in the Hall of Fame. You can actually go in and see what the view looked like. Not like exactly, but you can go in and kind of sit down or whatever, like you're inside the Unical ball. It's kind of cool. Or whatever.
Strayer with a big push there on Josh. It's got him out to a little bit of a gap, but I think it's too much because 4 cars on the outside are really just going to start going by him.
Sean Peach and obviously trying to get the draft up there. Fontaine's going to jump down to the bottom here. But these cars, the B car has a ton of draft to it. There's really not a lot of drag like the truck, which creates a big wake in the air. But these cars, some reason, still draft well, and I think part of it's the overpower of the draft in the iRacing build.
Yeah, and if you get in a cockpit, I just actually jumped into Alpha's cockpit for a second, you can hear how much they're having to pedal it in the tri-oval because of how loose the cars on the outside are getting. So these guys are working really hard in these cars right now. Oh, Alpha to the outside.
I was saying, he can pull over. It looks like you know what he might be doing? He's going to the back to get Miles. Because Miles is kind of hanging back, and I don't know if he's struggling to stay at speed or whatnot. But those two are going to work well together. That's what they do. That's what teammates do. Of course, part of the Laser Racing group here in this series, formerly the TI group. Their former owner, I guess I should say, in this league, is a pretty big idiot.
He's a fun idiot, though.
Ah, thank you. I mean, yeah, he is.
He's a lovable idiot. I can't see chat, so I'm sure he's saying something.
I'm talking about me.
Oh, I thought you were talking about somebody else.
Not Lewis. No, I mean, well, I'm kind of the reason they came here, but it's funny. I always pick on all for the signs. You are stuck in the middle.
Yeah, they're gonna. Oh, here comes Fontaine to help him.
Oh.
Fontaine says no help for you.
I was gonna say though it's funny. I pick on Alphen all the time. It's like, dude, you couldn't win a damn race with me as your owner. You win the championship, I'll give you that. But then I leave or whatever, and they get the Laser Racing team together, and he goes out and wins like 2 or 3 races.
This should be interesting. If they can hold it together on that outside, we should get some good 3 wide for at least a lap or so.
Yeah, let's see if Midkiff makes a move here, who decides to go with, and then of course you see the 7 and the 24 back there. It's supposed to be the 21 and 24, but yeah, when you're in a hosted session, sometimes numbers get mixed up, and I think whoever does the number decals on the cars at the track got them mixed up. Happens.
Yeah, the outside just couldn't form up enough to get going, so they're going to have to fall back in, or looks like Dalton wants to keep trying.
Kind of surprised the outside lane, or the second group we should call it, hung together there, because usually when you get a car that jumps to the high side, it kills the momentum of the middle.
Yeah, you got 2 fast cars there and 2 guys that really know how to super speedway race. So, and they're linked up better than the bottom, so that's probably why they were able to stay there. But I agree with you, it should have pulled them back a little bit too.
Yeah, it usually does. I mean, Gagnon, obviously a former winner at Talladega back in season 1. And you got Strayer, of course, who's had his share of success, looking to become a 2-time winner of this Clash race.
See, I would have done something different right there than what Strayer did. I would have tried to pull Signs clear with me before I got down.
I got you.
If he couldn't get clear, I just would have stayed in that middle lane because they were working really well together, and Strayer was in control. Now he's giving up control to Signs, and it's going to be hard for him to get it back.
And that's a momentum thing, correct?
Correct. Yeah. You can shield down just a little bit to slow the momentum of the bottom lane, but I wouldn't. I would try and pull my buddy with me too, somebody that I've been working with for a couple laps that's obviously fast and has pushed me to the lead. I want to continue to work with him on the bottom.
I want Gagnon pushing me right now. Holy cow, that run that they got through 1 and 2 for 3 cars. I mean, they freight trained that line of 5 on the outside.
Yeah, you can see how hard he pushed him by how squirrely the 41 got him. I mean, he got in him really good, gave him a great shove to the lead. But I still think we haven't seen the last of the 44.
His signs with help from Dalton, who's going to jump out of line. He's got his teammate Lotta Soar, the dirt winner last season at Eldora. Well, that's a KJD train right there on the outside. All 4 of their cars.
Man, this is getting exciting.
Still got, 11 cars in there, 10 cars in the draft. Sam Barnes off the track, unfortunately having connection issues, and then Maciejewski's out of the draft, hoping that these guys will wreck each other and he can get his car all the way fixed. And potentially Eric Jones his way to victory lane like Jones did a few years ago in Daytona with a mashed-in nose.
What's going to be interesting to see, Fontaine does have some damage on him. Can he push, or is he just going to be somebody that can lead?
We're about to find out right now because he's on the outside. First car in lane. Sean Peachin pushing him.
If you notice, the pushes are getting more and more aggressive and intense. So
I'm more surprised, like you said, that the cars are moving like they are. I don't know if that's an air thing, if that's just the way these cars are driving, or...
Well, Well, they do get down on the bump stops pretty hard, and so if you get behind the wheel on exit and it lifts up off of that bump stop, it's gonna dolt around just a little bit, and I think that's what we're seeing. You know, it's been a while since these guys have probably driven a Daytona race in this car, since the start of last season probably, and so you know, still trying to figure it out, but they're doing a good job holding it together.
7 laps to go. Peachin tries to go to the bottom. Fontaine with a defensive move, which was the right thing to do there. Get to the bottom and protect. And of course
Right.
that.
But here comes that 44 again.
Yeah.
But Fontaine and Peachin did exactly what I was talking about last time when it was Strayer and Signs. You know, they got both clear and both went down.
Yeah, you see Miles and Alphen back there just kind of hanging out, and you wonder if Miles is a little more damaged than we think and just can't stay up, or if they're just kind of hanging back a couple tenths of a second just to see what happens here. Because as we get to 6 laps to go, yes, things are going to pick up very
they
quickly.
They can only hang back there for so long. You got 6 laps left. It's time to go.
Question is, well, I mean, with only 10 cars in the lead draft, how quick can you get to the front? Can you do it a lap? 2 laps?
No, I think you gotta build it up, and you gotta keep working through the cars. You know, the cars that are in the best shape are this first 6 right here, and then everybody else is gonna need some help.
Bluey gets past and goes a lap down.
Glad that he got a new front bumper though. The car looked pretty rough.
Yeah, I was gonna say he definitely hit that wall a ton. Not a good start to what is the sophomore campaign there from the 93 that went to victory lane last season in his first season. So
my new teammate for this year. Excited
Yes.
to run with him.
Something tells me things worked out for his situation to go to your team after the situation that happened with his previous team.
Yeah, that was that previous team was who I thought you were talking about the owner. So the name that will remain unsaid.
Oh, the one that they're wanting to free. Okay, you're talking about the Teller guy? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, free Tilder. Here we go. 44 made a move to the outside and blocked by Strayer.
Ooh,
I don't know how much longer Signs is gonna let that go on.
The question he has here, though, is because, well, here comes Miles up the middle. So they must have something in that car.
Yeah, I knew it was go time for those guys.
So the question you have, though, is who's going to work with who here?
Yeah, I'm sure Signs is getting a little tired of getting ditched by Strayer, and then he just got his nose chopped off. So it'll be interesting to see if he stays with him this whole time, or if he does that and tries to put a move on him.
Surprised the KJD2 cars didn't go find each other like they did there a couple laps ago and said, hey, let's go, you know, and all 4 of them go. I mean, you see Midkiff's on the bottom. He's got Fontaine there on the bottom. Top side, you've got, that's where you see Dalton and Ladiseur.
Dalton tried to jump on the outside of the 44 there and had no help and went straight to the back. Now the KJD2 are getting really lined up. Midkiff's going to get a run up here to Fontaine.
Ooh, they almost got into each other. They're still almost hitting each other. Here comes that pair, by the way, of Alfred and Miles.
They weren't going to stay in the back too long. If Miles has got anything left in this car, he's going to push it to the front. That guy is crazy good and fast.
3 wide top.
I love it. Let's go. I'd be out there pushing in that top lane right now as hard as I could.
Now, with your personality, I must say, from a racing standpoint, top, middle, or bottom?
Oh, I'd be ripping the top right now.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, that'd be the only way, especially if I was.
Oh,
there they go. Oh, he saved it.
Pizza with a Kyle Busch. Oh, hold on.
Oh, he's still working it.
Saved it.
What a save. What a save. Let's go, Peachin. Great job.
Hey, Kyle Busch won a race doing that.
Yeah, but now look at how it shook up the front of the field. We got Josh back on the point.
Sean's going to need yellow, though, to get to it.
Coming to 1 to go. It's we'll see what kind of run can get built right here. It's going to be the deciding factor of the race.
Checkers or wreckers?
Hey,
or what's
push the pedal to the floor until you see the checkers or God, like that guy said. Let's go.
I was going to say, what's the new quote? See the checkers or see God.
Yeah.
I like it. So Dalton goes to the front. He was just at the back of the pack.
Yeah. That, like I said, Sean getting loose there really shook up the field, and it's going to be interesting to see here what happens. I would want to be in Dalton's seat. That's the perfect catbird seat for this final lap.
White flag, final lap this time. Who's going to make the first move? You got a tandem of KJD2 at the top. Behind them, a couple of laser cars, and you got Strayer trying to push Gagnon.
Strayer's going to lose Gagnon a little bit from hitting the apron there. Should get a big run right here, and we'll see how big a shove he can give him.
They might have opened the door for Miles. Let's see what he decides to do here. Ladasaur going to probably try to play defense. Miles going to go to the top. Maciejewski's there with him. Ladasaur tries to draft, but he's going to side draft him back. That's going to help Miles a ton here. As they're going to drag race through 3 and 4.
The run is on the outside.
Oh, there goes Dalton.
Who's going to make it to the start-finish line first?
Miles wins the clash.
What a race, man. What a race. Great final lap. Wow. Like I said, I knew that Miles was going to go as hard as he could.
1-2 for the Laser team. Signs ends up third. Fontaine and Midkiff. Checkers or wreckers.
Hey, they almost made it too. That was crazy. Looked like Dalton just got turned a little bit there, coming out of 3 and 4, and then it was just on from there, and the outside prevailed.
So Miles is going to get a paint scheme of his choice from Spicy Schemes, which of course is the company ran by Sammy B. Oh, not the Daytona grass.
They can fix it before we race there again.
That'd be a while. It's not this season.
Yeah. Just going back and rewatching that final lap. Man, what a good race.
Yeah, all 25 laps. I mean, you had the one caution in there, but now these guys put on a show. Good fun. Something that they can laugh about, I'm sure, later on. Could you imagine a Ric Flair car painted by Barnes?
Hey, I think it's going to look epic. Barnes with his own special version of woo in there. He's a kiss stealing, willing, dealing, son of a gun right there doing some burnouts.
Limousine riding, jet flying.
Doing everything I can to hold these alligators down, baby.
Oh, man.
Miles has probably drank more spilled liquor than I've paid for in my entire life. What a show put on by him. You know, I thought with the wreck he was going to be out of it, but a lot of help there from Alphen. You know, it really changed for them once Alphen got behind him. I think that the damage kept Miles from being able to push Alphen, so they switched it up and really worked together as a team. That's really impressive.
Yeah,
no, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with all season.
No, I agree. I agree. That team, I'm not sure who they're bringing back. I haven't really talked to Miles about it, but let's watch the final lap here and just kind of break it all down. I kind of knew that when the 79 got way out of shape on the bottom with Strayer. Strayer was all over the place.
Yeah, you saw them both hit the apron there, which really broke them apart. And then they hit it again on exit, and that's what really gives the top lane a huge surge.
I mean, the car couldn't have been that darty, was it?
I don't experience that, but that's a great move right there.
That's
he just showed him his headlights, and he committed, and then gave him the outside, and that's where you want to be off to the exit of 4.
Oh, okay. So Josh just straight pushed a lot of sore, and Dalton had no momentum. So nothing Josh did wrong there.
No. A lot of sore broke off of him, and then when Josh came back down, a lot of sore was already there, and they just got together.
Nice. All right. So the final results of the 12 starters plus Tyler Brewer. Looks like this right there. Miles wins it by 6/100ths over his teammate, and then signs Fontaine, Midkiff, Strayer, Peach, and Dalton. A lot of sore, your 9 cars on the lead lap. Gagnon towed back. Maciejewski, unfortunately, was a lap down from that accident earlier. Sam Barnes is on the phone with his internet connector right now, and Tyler Brewer just wanted to have his name out there, which is totally okay. So, there we go. Let's talk to some drivers here. And, oh, I get Barnes' message now. Hey, you can pull me in the booth if you want. Sorry, Sam. So, let's get. They're up here in the waiting room waiting on us. So let's get Diego up here. Obviously, Diego, man, great job tonight. Third place finish, led some laps, showed the speed there, and kind of got your feet wet again, ready for Auto Club next week. But pretty fun race there for you.
It was great. That was actually a lot of fun. I wanted to get pole. I couldn't get it. I hope to get it at Auto Club, but that was just great racing. I always love doing super speedways.
Yeah, obviously. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Diego, I saw you went from the front to the back a lot. You must have had a lot of speed in that. We were working with Strayer. Anything you could have done differently to stay up there?
I had Dalton behind me, and then he kept sending it 3 because he had his teammates with him.
Mhm.
I had nobody. I was a lone ranger. But I tried to block, and I was like, I'm not going to force the issue just yet. So I dropped back, stayed patient, and then I saw him going down on the inside and jumbling and fumbling around. I was like, oh, this is my chance. And they all started wrecking. And that's when I just went through the middle.
So
I think there's anything I
obviously,
could have done differently.
no, I was going to say the one thing I wanted to ask, and I'm going to ask all the guys this: was the car as bad in handling wise did it look? Because it seemed like it was dancing everywhere.
I think under draft it just a little bit it was. I could hold my line, but I saw him moving around a lot. I think it just was like how close the cars were to each other. Like you get a bump out of nowhere and then your car just kicks out from under you.
That would make a lot of sense, man. Well, great job tonight. Send some shout outs to whoever you like to.
Shout out the Gunslingers. We're gonna take over this season. I swear. I know they're not doing teams no more, but it's gonna be fun. Shout out Miles for winning. That was a lot of fun. And Brandon, the 2 teammates actually won 1-2. That's crazy. But shout out you. I'm gonna watch this later because that finish was crazy.
You know, Cam's got one on you now.
Does he?
Yeah, he won the Clash race in the other league that he races in. That'd be the Friday Night League, the All American Series.
Well,
he did win that Clash. Just saying.
I plan to win one at Texas. They go at Texas now.
I like it. Nice job, man.
See
you too, buddy.
Thank you.
Diego Sainz finishing in the 3rd position.
Yeah.
Him and his randomness. Meanwhile, I'm getting hit over here by yeah.
You mean bring Alphen in for us?
Yeah, bring Alphen in because I got bots over here in my chat I got to go get rid of. So we'll let you talk to Brandon there. Obviously, 2nd place finish, and I hear you guys got some New Hampshire talk to do or something.
That's right. Let's see.
He's
in here.
I'll
Hey.
hold him in.
Hey, Brandon Payton up here in the booth. Great job, man. Great finish. Good teammate work. I was really impressed with you guys. Tell us about your what you saw from the cockpit there.
Yeah, I mean, the first about 10 laps or so was trying to run up front, and then that wreck and all that stuff happened, and just with it being a small field, being the Clash and all that stuff, and then 25 laps, was trying to make everyone like it was the last one, and figured it was about time. Me and Miles are only 2 teammates in here on our team and that kind of thing, so it was about halfway or so. I thought I'd go me back up with him, and then it just kind of worked out at the end. Following him, I told Miles, I said, I ain't letting out of the gas, and we just kind of timed up some runs there at the end, and Miles was able to get a W.
Yeah, a couple great moves there on that last lap when the 2 in front of you went to block and Miles put on a great move and you all moved up to the top side. Did he have problems pushing you from the damage from that early wreck? Is that why you all switched it up and you could push him because you could keep him going forward, but he couldn't really return the favor given his damage?
No, I think he was good pushing. I just owed him one from a couple speedway races where he pushed me to the win. So that's why I told him I'd finally get him back for one. So I came back and just kind of just worked with him. And I like being the pusher too, as opposed to getting pushed. I feel like I got a little bit more control of that and stuff. So, but no, it wasn't. I don't. Miles was talking, and he'll probably say it here in a little bit when y'all talk with him. He said he only had 40 seconds of damage, but he felt like it was way more than that. So I don't know really what was going on and necessarily everything he was feeling. But yeah, that was just I just owed him one at a speedway race, so I wanted to follow him and at least try to push him to the win.
Well, speaking of owing people one, you owe me one because the whole reason I'm not in this race is because you stole that New Hampshire pole from me. So I plan on taking that back from you at some point this year. So
yeah. Well, it's funny you bring that up. We were talking about it. I didn't even know. I couldn't remember where I got the pole at. We were like, man, is it Michigan? Is it Indianapolis? Because I know you were fast at New Hampshire. I know, especially on the long run, you had a really fast car, and that was a bad race in a sense for me for the long run. I couldn't remember. That's funny that that you bring that up because
Oh no,
we were
yeah, you cut me by like 3 thousandths. I think it was a ridiculously close pole race, and then yeah, it was a great race with you. You led the first, I don't know, 10 laps, but then the long run, my car just came in. But I wanted to talk to you after qualifying, but I'm glad that you made it to the podium for my one time up here in the booth where I get to rib you a little bit about still the whole reason why I'm not running tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll probably get a couple poles next year. You know, you're always fast and then running up front and that kind of thing. So I'm sure you'll get one or two this upcoming season.
Well, I just want to know how many laps you plan on lapping me by at Sonoma.
I just hope I can. I just hope I can keep it on track. I'll have to go back and dig into my Ricky Rudd archive. Watch.
Dude, it was fun watching you and Miles work together tonight, and best of luck this season. Can't wait to run next to you.
All right, appreciate it. You too, man.
All right, buddy. Brandon Alphin obviously finishing in the second position this evening. Congratulations to him, and no two tires on the road course.
No. Those are all four, baby. Give me some four feel goods, and we're on our way.
Attaboy. Brandon Alphin finishing second here tonight here at the Daytona International Speedway in the Clash, and his teammates sitting down there in the waiting room, and at Stephen Miles going to victory lane, the champ backing it up here with a win. Obviously, Stephen involved in that first wreck. I was sitting back and I'm watching. I'm like, all right, he's got damage. Either one, he's hanging back, or two, that car's not able to hold up. And obviously, Alphin came back there and got you, and seemed like it all worked out for you.
Oh, is this what you think? He came back and got me?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of going off what I see here. I mean, I know you like to hang back. I mean, I don't know who taught you that move, but otherwise, Alphin, it's like he bails out of the pack, and it's like he goes back to get Miles. You never know. I mean, we saw what happened with Brandon. Completely lost the draft. So
yeah, that wreck was I think it was Fontaine and Brandon Masajetski or whatever.
Close enough.
I think they got close enough. I call him Bluey, nickname. So they got a little tangled up, and I thought they was gonna save it. I just wanted to get out the way to let Josh behind me to have some visual clearance so he could be able to stay out the wreck too. And I mean, I was just right there, didn't have nowhere to go, and ran the back on him. I tried my best to lock it up hard as I can, and I see my hood kind of move a little bit, like it was just sitting on top of the motor, so I thought I was gonna fall off eventually, and I had to limp it around that one lap, and it was finna blow. All my water and oil was dropping, and I just had to clutch it for like a whole 3 and 4, and when I got in there, it was 41 seconds of damage, which I was surprised about, and once I was able to get going and draft, my wheel was a little bit off. And I was just like, there's no way it was 40 seconds, but I was able to keep a draft back there. I was just chilling, hanging out. It was too early for me anyway. I wanted to drop back, but then I was like, it's a clash race. Let's race a little bit, and I was just chilling back there. Then I was like, "You good?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." He was like, "Well, I'm gonna come back there and hang out with you." And I was like, "Nah, stay up there. Nah, don't come back here with me." And me and Alfin been arguing all day, man. How he owes me a couple of them, man. That I pushed him in trucks or the Gen 4 car or whatever. And and he was like, "No, I'm gonna come back there and just let me know when you're ready to go." And you push me, and I'm like, "Nah." So we basically was arguing about who's gonna push who in the back, and he let off one time, and I just went to the outside, and then he just got behind me and was like, okay, just let me know. So I thought it was gonna be a wreck the last 4 laps, and well, no, not even 5, but like 6 or 7 laps ago, I realized it wasn't gonna be one. I was like, we gotta go, and I started piecing my way up there in the middle. You can't do nothing on the bottom, and um, he got hot. We went to the 3rd lane and we had a run, and he got hot. I told him back it down. I know how that is. It'll blow up on you in an instant, man. Sometimes. So he just backed up, and we regained our momentum. And the last couple of laps right there, teammates against teammates. I knew it was gonna be a good run with Dalton, Fontaine, and those guys up there with Joey. And I feel like I'm the best pusher, but Alvin feel like he the best pusher, and he told me he wasn't gonna let off. So I mean, I told him I wasn't gonna wreck it. I was just gonna try not to wreck nobody else, and you can see how squirrely everybody was up there. I don't know if they haven't been in this car on the restricted play races since the updates and stuff, but it just seemed like everybody was trying to, not go 3 wide because they couldn't really keep it two like that. But at the end of the day, man, it was a great finish, and I don't know what happened to those guys on the bottom. I just tried to keep it straight, and my teammate helped me get a win tonight.
Yeah, I think it worked out a lot better for you with him pushing you, given your damage. We had talked about it before when you were pushing him. You all weren't really making a whole lot of ground up or moving, but once he got behind you, you all came right to the front whenever you decided to go. So, wanted to congratulate you and tell you what a great, faint move that was there going into 3, where you got them to go down and open up that top side, because you definitely want to be in these cars on the top side coming out of 3 and 4. That's where you're going to get the run. You just got to hold them off on the bottom. But great move to you. I just want to know how much spilled liquor you plan on drinking tonight.
I got work in the morning, so it'll be about 4 double shots probably, cause I know Dean waiting for me, Alvin waiting for me. But that I could have pushed them up there. We had a couple runs where I was pushing them. If I needed to, I was gonna be able to get them up there. I feel like I know how to manage my water temps and poke my nose out when I need to while I still push. And really, and I was procrastinating with them because I didn't want to push them.
Right.
So really, that's why we really weren't going up there. But yeah, man, I was listening. My girl was listening to the broadcast. She was like, "Who's this guy?" I was like, "That's Payne Jones." She was like, "Oh, he's good." So you're doing a good job too, man.
Well, I appreciate it. I would rather be behind the wheel, and I'm gonna go back to my day job next week. But I
Oh
appreciate
yeah.
Scala letting me in here. I can't wait to rub fenders with you this season, and can't wait to watch you run away with some races like you did last year.
Oh yeah. You gonna get yours too, bro. You're fast.
I was going to say, Miles, you ever thought about that Ric Flair car with a Sammy Barnes paint?
I don't know if that's gonna be a Ric Flair car.
Oh,
Now I think about it, cause Bo Caro, shout out to him, make my pains. This is the one of the 8 that he sent me last night, cause he was bored,
say you
and
ain't.
he sent me
Wow.
8 Ric Flair. I'm talking about they're bad to the bone. I'm talking about blacked out, red, white, and black. It got a red and black version of this, man, and the details of it so nice, and it still got Ric Flair, different moments and memories, and it's just wild how I mean I'm not a big wrestling fan no more. I know you are, but Ric Flair was always like one of my favorite wrestlers, and for him to keep doing it for free and just send it to me is nice. But Sammy Barnes is one of the top ones too, man, and all these paint schemes tonight are shining bright. So I told him I'm gonna have to think about it, put a little thought in it. I like to be creative with my paints. I like to, how Prime say you dress good, you feel good, So that's how I'm gonna do it like that.
That's my problem.
Well, you're gonna have a hard time keeping them alligators down tonight, I'm sure, after that win. But you get ready to see that 15 car come next week.
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Oh, I can't wait. This season's going. I mean, I don't know what it is, Skylar. I race almost. I mean,
Hmm.
I literally every day. But I was nerved. Like my nerves are just so bad today, and I'm like, what is going on? I race so many leagues, and I don't be nervous. But I guess because I'm a returning champ, the expectations of myself and whatever. I know how many guys the top 15 could win if they just hit everything on the head with it. Like I mean. It's gonna be crazy at Auto Club. I can't wait.
The man's a student of the game. First off, that's where you hear all that stuff he was talking about, what he's doing with the car and that kind of thing. That's the first thing you catch out of this. But number two, that man wears his emotions. He gets out there and he goes 100 every time. So, nice job, man, and congratulations. And hey, you're the Clash winner, so you get to make this race as long as Sam puts it on.
Yeah, I plan on getting a pole or something this year too. But let me
Throw
give
some
my
shout outs.
shout
Yeah, go
outs,
ahead.
man.
Yeah.
Let me give my shout outs. Shout out Laser Racing, AB. Wish he was here. I know he's been in the lab working, testing, doing all type of stuff, trying to get a little bit faster, man. And shout out to Alvin. Happy birthday to him.
Yeah.
I wanted to push him for his birthday, but then I'm like, nah, you owe me. So happy birthday to him, and thank him for giving me the win. I appreciate you, best broadcaster in the game, and Peyton for calling this race. Man, I did an awesome job. Shout out to Peach and them for putting on this league, and Fontaine and Strayer, the admins, for running it. This was a idea that I wasn't really gonna run. I was just gonna show up and start the season, but I was like, if Alvin would show up, I'm gonna show up, and thank God and my girlfriend, and that'll be it.
Great job, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Stephen Miles and Brandon Alford teaming up to go to victory lane here pretty much when it's all over with. So we get the preseason blues out of the way and clear up and get ready for Auto Club Speedway next Wednesday night. Peyton, man, appreciate you coming to join us. I think you did as well as Dale did back in 1980, so good job.
Hey, that's big shoes to live up to. I really appreciate you letting me come in here and hijack one of your great broadcasts. But I hope everybody enjoyed it, and it was, I think, a fun little surprise for all the people that I'm going to be fighting with here over the next 15 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much. And if not, I'm going to call my lawyer.
Hey, I know a decent one. Don't know a good one, but if you want a decent one, I'll give you a number.
Attaboy. Great job tonight, man.
All right, see you, buddy.
I appreciate it. And shout out to Sammy Barnes for putting on the show. Of course, here tonight, Spicy Schemes, of course, is his the group that he works with. And Sam obviously has done a lot of work on my end with some of the logos. Obviously, the downrange one was one that was previously done, but the Captain Esports Network logos that you see, like right here, for instance, that's all Sammy Barnes' work. The graphics you see here is all Sammy Barnes' work. The graphics behind it, the motion and stuff, is all Sam, and I give him a shout out for that, and that's why tonight it was very easy for me to say when they asked, hey, why don't you come do this exhibition race? I'm like, dude, I'm on it. Let's go. So appreciate Sam for all of his hard work and what he's done even in the prior seasons, all the way when he and Travis brought this league together almost 4 years ago now. So, but big shout out to those guys. So shout out to Peyton, shout out to everybody who came out here tonight and all the viewers watching here this evening. And always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain Esports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.